Are you turning your video camera on? Let me grab a link and then I'll add everyone to the meeting. Okay, I'm adding everyone to the meeting right now. Sounds good? Okay, I'm gonna add everybody. 3, 2. Hi everyone and good morning. I just put the link to attendance in the chat. Okay, great. So while you're filling out that attendance form, we're gonna keep moving. Okay, awesome. So by now you know who we are. My name's Eva and next to me is Mugdha. And here's attendance again if you missed it. We have it as a QR code and it's also in the chat. We'll stay here for another minute for people who just joined. Okay, great. Let's keep moving. So if you haven't yet joined the community, here's the link to do so right now. We're going to stay here for like a good 30 seconds for anyone who's new to join right now. Okay, great. Let's keep moving. So once again, I'm going to reiterate housekeeping rules. 1, keep your camera on. I'm going to go in and request everyone to turn their camera on right now. If you don't have that, that just keeps you engaged, keeps us engaged, makes us know that you are paying attention. And then also gives us visual cues if something doesn't make sense, if there's lots of confused faces in the crowd, and we know to slow down or reiterate something. Next, active participation. Get ready to be engaged. Take notes, they'll help you. Ask questions in the chat. Like it says, be curious, ask questions. We want you to understand what we're teaching, make sure everything makes sense. And just keep continuing with that. And the next one, prizes. We have chances to win prizes every day, whether it's with leadership points, with all the things you're doing that I see posted, or games. So here's how to earn points if you missed that or you want to look at that again. And then here's where you can see your leadership points. I updated some things, so if you didn't see some points loaded in, they should be in there now. If you still have some issues, please let me know. And then once again, here are our leadership milestone levels. So look at your points and see how they match up to these target points. Bronze is the minimum to complete the internship, which means 150 points is the bare minimum. So with that, we expect you to be going way more, like do way more and go above and beyond 150. You can also find these two, the slide and the last one, on the blog post. So here is a breakdown of how you could add up things to get to your target points. I already know some people are above and beyond in platinum, but even if you already hit 300 points, you still are required to finish all leadership assignments posted each session. All assignments are mandatory, but 150 points is your minimum, and you can get that in several different ways. So if you haven't already, please join Demo Day, our LinkedIn event on here. Please take a second to scan the QR code if you haven't already. I think about 50 of you have not so far, and just confirm your engagement and that you'll be there. So I'll see you for a minute.
We were looking at the LinkedIn event, and we see that only about yesterday night when I was checking, around 2 a.m. in the morning, rather, I should say, there are only about 40 plus of you who have joined the Demo Day LinkedIn event. This is a must for each one of you to join. And as I said, like, say, this is a way for you to, if you're attending virtually outside of Washington State, you'll be sharing a link for you to attend the session virtually. And given that we'll also would be having one of the prizes for the best team out there, uh, invite as many of your friends, family, people in your network to help you with. So take a moment. If you're not yet joined, join the LinkedIn event.
So with the audience favor, if you're in Washington State, you're welcome to bring friends and family to vote for your presentation. But like Vinod said, if you're joining virtually, invite people. The more people you know that can vote for you, the higher chances of you winning audience favorite.
And if you're not yet subscribed to our LinkedIn newsletter, please do that. If you want to stay in touch, continue your learning beyond this internship, right? Where as you progress through your life, as you progress to your school, you'll get busy. So if you want to stay in touch, one way of staying in touch with us is with our LinkedIn newsletter. So if you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and do it. Okay, dream, dare, do. That's what the whole theme is of that newsletter is.
Okay, and now this is a key thing, the updated teams. So if there's any changes or you had issues with your team, please scan this QR code or type in the link and look at your team. We changed some things, so if you were originally on a team, if we moved you, please leave the original team on WhatsApp and join your new team. We have all the links. Only join the team that you were assigned to. You shouldn't see anyone in a team that they're not assigned to. So please take a minute or two to look at that. Make sure everything's on the same page. You understand where you should be, who you should be working with, because we have some team stuff starting today.
And if you have your questions, anything about your team, right? Today, Eva and Mugdha are going to be available. We are opening up office hours where for such questions about team, logistics, and all that, you would have a breakout room where you can discuss those things live.
But with teams, a lot of you are named team 1 to team 50. So if your team name is just a number, today's the day to change that. I want you guys to come to a consensus on what your team name will be by 11:59 tonight. By now you've learned a lot. You don't have to wait for the case study to come up with the team name. You've learned a lot. I think you guys have a good idea of what the case study will be like. So you don't need to wait for a case study to come up with the team name.
Okay. And as part of your leadership assignment today, you have one of the assignment which is going to be team-based.
Yeah.
So we want you to get to know each other and then start working together, start collaborating together. That's the whole idea of this team-based internship learning. So far, week one, what all that you have been doing is like you have been working individually, where you are building up your knowledge base. Now we are in week two. Week two is about leading. So whatever you have learned, you're putting it into action. Okay, and that will start with your team-based learning. You will still have your individual assignment, but you also will start getting your team-based assignment starting today.
Okay, so now I'm going to hand it back over to Vinod and Joe, your mentors and the founders of BricksFolios.
Thank you. Cool.
Okay.
So guys, here is the agenda today. So I know we know like last week was a very busy week with a lot of new things for you to learn, and you have learned a lot of concepts that most adults they don't know. What that also means is that you have been learning a lot of things, grasping all this new knowledge, but you may have questions. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to provide you an opportunity and see if there are any questions that we can help you with. Okay. Are there any questions that we can help from last week?
You can put them in the chat or unmute yourself or put your hand up and I'll unmute you.
Or raise a hand.
Put them in the chat, or if you want to go live and speak in front of all the hundreds of fellow interns, go ahead and do it. As and when we get the opportunity, as we go through today's session, we would try to answer those questions. Okay. Then today we're going to talk about real stories, real impact, and real wealth building. So all the tools that you have been using on our platform, right, and all the data that you have been seeing, there is a lot of stories that are behind them, and there is a lot of real impact that that data, those insights, they have made in people's life. So we'll talk about some of the examples of that.
And the real reason why we launched this summer internship is because of the real stories, the real impact, and the experiences that we've had.
Okay. So we'll, as part of the case study, the Mehta case study that we are solving, so we'll be going back to their portfolio goals. We'll look at their smart insights, and then as part of your case study that you'll be getting very similar case study where you will be putting together a portfolio which is aligned with their bigger goals that they have in their life. So we'll go back to Smart Portfolio. We'll take a look at Smart Insights. We'll do a little bit of more deep dive into Smart Insights. And then we'll also introduce you to your case study rubric. So when the case study that is being given to you that will be presenting on demo day, how are you going to be evaluated, right? So you will get insights now itself. Okay. So before we switch over to the case study, what I would like to do is, I was just looking up our LinkedIn, and I was looking at some of the posts over here. So I'm trying to call upon some of you. Okay. Now, Sanya, like say we are midway through our internship. So what has been your experience, Sanya, so far? Sanya Balla?
You can put your hand up and I'll unmute you.
Okay. So there are few individuals that we would love to talk to, and we just randomly pick them up, no rhyme and reason. So we would love to hear from
Hello, can you hear me?
Sanya, Vivan, Megha, Ikra, Sloan, and Moksha.
Okay.
Here, I think Sonia's unmuting right now.
Okay.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Hi, Sania.
Hello, hi. So I found this internship really interesting because in the beginning I didn't really think of real estate as such like an important asset. And like usually my dad is very interested in like finance and stuff, and he's also not very sure about real estate as well. So I think that this internship has taught me a lot about how like valuable of an asset this can be. And like I guess like the stuff that I've learned is like very helpful.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, Sanya. Do we have Ivan in the group?
Yeah. Wait, is it? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hey,
Yeah.
Vivan.
I learned a lot about like I think one of the main things you said that I remembered was like under promising and over delivering. Because that's like how the you said I think it's split years 1 to 3 and then years 4 and after because you want to be more conservative. And also you said don't trust us, trust the data because the platform shows a lot of numbers. So you can make your own decisions for yourself rather than just have it tell you what to believe.
That's awesome. That we always believe. Like, see, when it comes to trust, right? You do not want to be trusting just people. You want to trust the data and the insight, right? If your decisions are backed by data, right, very seldom you will be going wrong. And this applied not just for investment, but for any decision that you're making in your life. And that's what we emphasize that look, uh, we have all this data, right? And we are teaching you how to interpret this data, how to analyze this data, and how to use this data, leverage this data to your advantage, and do that. Don't just go by what we say.
Yeah.
Apply your own brains and then make decisions for yourself. Great point, Vivan.
Then Megha also had some interesting aspect posted on LinkedIn. We would like to have Megha on to share her inputs.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi,
Yes.
Megha.
Hi. Okay, so like somebody else mentioned, I never really thought about real estate as a like that valuable of an asset either. I had some like previous experience in like stocks and like day trading from like freshman year maybe. And so this kind of changed my perspective on like ways I can diversify my portfolio in the future. And also one of the biggest things that stuck out to me about like BricksFolios versus any other um platform or like brokerage is like you guys really reiterated solid returns and like very little speculation and again like trusting the data versus just your word. And so yeah, I really like appreciated that aspect.
Thank you, Megha.
Thank you, Megha. And it's awesome to see, like, say, you at this young age, like, say, you already starting to invest, right? Uh, and we would love for you guys is to start investing into real estate
As soon as you guys
as soon
can.
as soon as you can. I'll give an example. Like say today, since we said that it's all about real stories. One of the story that comes to the mind when you brought up that topic, Megha, is like say we have a few of our clients when their kids finished college and they got their first job. Okay, and they got handsome bonuses,
Joining
right?
bonuses.
And these guys they passed out from good schools, good colleges, and they got good handsome bonuses. A lot of kids, what they do is like say they use that money and they'll buy some flashy car, right? Go splurge that money. A lot of these kids whose parents have been working with us, and even those kids have been exposed to us. Imagine what they did. They used that money to buy their first investment property.
Yeah.
Okay, and some of
Yeah.
them, what they did,
The house hacked.
they house hacked. Okay, so house hacking is where, like, say, these guys they bought a 3 bedroom apartment or a house, depending upon the part of the US that they were working from, and they rent out like if they're residing in one bedroom, the other 2 bedrooms they rent out, and the people who are renting they are renting out to, they're essentially paying their mortgage, and these guys were now are building wealth, building equity, right? And then on top of that, there are also some of them they also were getting the cash flow. So it's the mindset change that we are trying to bring about. So when we talk about like say Mission Million, right? Uh, it's not going to happen where we just talk about it. It's going to happen when we empower people in our network, right? When we are now empowering you, and you in turn are going to empower people in your network, your own families, right? Your own friends. Then this is how this financial literacy is going to spread, and this is how you'll start looking at life differently, where we're not talking about, okay, I have to work until 60, 65, right? And then I'll think about my retirement. You have to think about, okay, how do I start first earning, right? Where you are getting that disposable income that you can invest. And then how do you invest that smartly, where into those assets are now building wealth for you while you sleep, while you're enjoying other things that you are passionate about your life. That's the mindset change that we're trying to bring with this internship. So we are like say investing a lot into this internship, right? The idea is all driven by, okay, how do we enable the next generation to look at life differently? You guys being here in this country, right? You have a lot of opportunities. Like we are privileged to be uh, have access to those opportunities. Now it is those people who are deliberate about leveraging those opportunities and turning them into something. Those are the ones who will be say moving forward in life in ways a lot of people would not be doing. So that's the whole idea about this conversation that we keep on having.
And then the other discussion that we keep having is how cool would it be when we were job optional, we touched our 40, and how cool it would be for you guys to be job optional when you touch 30, right? And then the whole life is there for you to explore, to enjoy, and to do things that you're passionate about. That's important.
Cool. Do you have anybody else?
Sloan and Moksha.
Sloan, can you bring
Ikra
on?
and Moksha.
Um,
Can you turn on your camera? There you are.
Hi. I thought it was really cool, especially yesterday. We talked a lot about like how I always thought real estate, like you only really make money from like selling your house because it like grows in like um how much it's worth. But like yesterday you talked a lot about how you can also use houses to like take money off of taxes from like W-2 incomes
Yep.
and all of the different like methods where you can really just like use real estate for things that aren't directly related, which I thought was really interesting to hear about.
Awesome. Cool. On that note, like say guys, on our blog, you would see one of the blog posts that you've written about is like say uh, the playbook of the 1%ers: buy, borrow, die. Okay. Now what does that mean? You have seen like a lot of these CEOs, they don't take any salaries. Okay. Are they doing it from the goodness of their heart, or is there some
Strategic.
strategic decision behind that? Any guesses? Why are, like say, a lot of the CEOs, they don't take any money, or they just take say dollar one as a salary, and then
Across the globe.
and rest of their compensation is all equity.
You can raise your hand, I'll unmute you.
Okay. The reason they are doing this is like say, there we are.
Sanjeev.
Sanjeev, go ahead. We'll unmute you
I
and
think
share your thoughts.
can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's because of tax benefits that they get if they like don't take that high of a salary.
Correct. See, the W-2 salary that you get, right? That is the highest tax disadvantage income. Okay. So by keeping that minimal, right? What they're doing, they're getting the equity stock options, and those stock options they are appreciating, so they borrow against those stock options and use that money to invest, to take care of their lifestyle, right? And when they're buying assets against by borrowing that money, right? They're again getting a lot of tax benefits as well on top of saving on their own tax benefit when it comes to not drawing the W-2 salary. So today, what we'll do is, like say, in the example that we've been looking at, we'll look at how the same framework uh, anybody can apply when they're building their real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody else we have?
We have Ikra and Moksha.
Ikra?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi,
please.
Ikra.
Hi,
Okay.
Ikra.
So when I first joined the internship, I really didn't know a lot about like real estate, but like going through it, I've learned a lot that I hadn't known before and like how important and powerful it is, especially like how you can really help a family with like gaining assets and stuff. And I think that really helped with like our family because we've talked about it and I've been a part of that conversation. And we've talked about like our futures and how like gaining assets can help our futures and like because I have siblings too and how it can help them.
Awesome.
Very impactful.
So that's something like say caught my attention, Ikra, when you talked about the conversation that you had with your family. A lot of you, right? Say you had this conversation with your family, and we have a lot of parents who reached out to us, like say, like it's amazing, like say what you guys are teaching our kids, because these are the conversation, right? We never had with our own parents.
Parents growing up.
And now at this stage, while you guys are still in school, you're having this conversation where it is triggering a thought process in the parents. Like, okay, why are we not taking advantage of it? Right? Why are we not doing more of it? So thank you so much for doing that. Keep doing that, right? Keep questioning, keep asking, right? And keep learning by having these conversations with your family.
The other thing is, we are living in a changed time. This year, you must have seen a lot of families losing jobs, right? In your friends and family circle, in the communities where you live in, especially if there are tech members or people working for the tech giants, a lot of them got impacted because of the layoffs, and it all turns out to be a very negative situation for them. And here is an opportunity for them to work on the REP status, get through the tax benefits and whatnot. Okay.
That reminds me of one example of one of our client.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a real life story.
Real
Okay.
life story.
So when Microsoft they had this first big layoff.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of our clients, like say again, tech couple, husband working for uh, one of the magnificent seven.
Yeah.
Right, and wife working for Microsoft, and wife has been
Okay.
working at Microsoft for over 16 years. Right, so she got impacted, but they were not worried. They were like say happy. Okay, reason is like say they got their severance package, and for every year of service, Microsoft back then was giving 1 week of extra pay.
Yeah.
So she got like
A decent.
a very decent severance package, and good hats off to companies like Microsoft, right, who do that. Now what they did, like say they already had bought 5-6 properties by then working with us. Okay, so that year the wife decided, okay, I'm going to just take a break. I'm going to chill. Uh, I There are things in my life that have been passionate about growing up. Now I'm going to take a year off or so, and then focus on those things that I have always delayed, that I wanted to do, but I never had time to do. And she just did that. She got her REP status. Okay.
Remember the 750 hours of tracking on real estate matters? Obviously, the good portfolio kept them busy. to discuss about that.
So they met the 2 rules of material participation, that's 750 plus hours plus non-real estate related, your real estate related activities are 50% or higher than non-real estate related activity. So they met that criteria. And then next year when they file their taxes, imagine the refund that they receive. They receive 260K in tax refund. Okay. And what did they do with that money?
Invested in more real estate.
They invested in more real estate. So they started now building that depreciation bank where down the line, like say, as and when they need, right, they can tap into it, or at the time of exit. Even if they do not have the RAP status, they can tap into it and then save a lot of money in taxes.
So we can all be change makers in our community, looking at life positively when somebody else has lost a job but and does not know what to do next, right? Real estate can come very handy at this point of time to look at that.
Cool. Anybody else we have?
We have Moksha.
Moksha, you are on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I definitely think that session 3, the part where we learned about like how you can get depreciation on taxes really stuck to me because I didn't know we could do that to our taxes. I thought just all the strategies we learned was cool. And I don't have experience in real estate. I kind of just wanted to explore it and see what happens. And like with all the new learnings and findings, I thought it was really cool and a great experience to learn.
Very nice.
Awesome. Cool.
We have Tanisha who's raised her hand.
Anybody else want to chime in and then share their thoughts? Like, so we have
Before
another
we session.
Yeah, this entire internship has been really helpful for me because I'm learning how to understand real estate and how to work with like taxes a bit more smartly. I wanted to know, is there like any programs where the entire family can like work together to solve this, like so I can include my parents into this too so they can also learn?
Awesome.
Because they're often busy during these calls, so they can't sit in and listen to me in these calls as well.
Awesome.
Major
So-
part of our day goes into meeting families, looking at the portfolio, resolving their, making the plan for their life goals.
So guys, if you remember in the last session, we asked for you to share your family details, right? So we'll be adding your parents also to our community, where all the discussion that you guys are having, and you'll be having more of those discussion. Now we are switching more into this team-based learning, right? Team-based assignment. We want you to involve them also as part of this conversation. So if you're not yet filled out your parent information, please do that. We'll add them to the community. We also would love to have them accompany you at the demo day, where when you guys are presenting and then sharing your experiences, sharing your learning to the case study, they are going to learn and it is going to strike conversations at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Ananya.
Hello. A quick question. So, you said in the middle that after this internship, if you still want to continue learning, then we have more opportunities. So, like, what can you tell more about that? Like the details and everything?
Okay, you're asking me to let the cat out of the bag.
Huh?
Okay, so we do have, like, say, so we have a program called as Real Estate Portfolio Ally.
Yeah.
Okay. So Real Estate Portfolio Ally is a role where whatever you're learning, and then you'll continue to learn, where you get a lot of resources and all that you can continue with your learning. What that role does is, like, say, you're empowering your network with the knowledge that you are gaining.
Right.
Okay. And then when anybody in your network, whether it is your own family or friends, right, if they want to learn more, then you can refer them to us. Okay. And when we start working with them, building their portfolio, you get to earn. Okay.
Okay.
The way it works is, like, say, suppose if somebody is say working with us and buying an investment property.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can make up to $1,000 when they do that. So we have some kids, like this is a very selective program, right? We do not roll it out, and that's the reason we never brought it up,
Yeah.
right? But we already have that program, and we were thinking that we should be rolling out to this group because we do not want to come up with as salesy that okay, we are trying to use this for lead generation. But if they are, if you have the hunger, you want to learn more, and then at the same time, maybe start saving for your own college or for your own pocket money, right? That's
Or
a
for
cool.
the first car that you want to buy as you learn driving, definitely there are opportunities to earn and learn in this space with us.
So whoever is interested in becoming a real estate portfolio ally, drop a note to growthcatalyst@brickfolios.com with the subject as REPA, Real Estate Portfolio Ally. And then, as I said, like this is a very selective program because we do not have the bandwidth to bringing a lot of people this program. So it is not a like say full-time role and all that. It's just a matter of like say whatever you are learning as part of this internship and beyond, you are having those conversations in your network with your friends, with your family, empowering them. And when they need more information, you just refer them to us. And if they act upon that information and they start actually building a portfolio, you get the financial upside as well.
Plus
Right.
the
Thank you so much.
plus the joy of bringing in the first-time investors. They're always nervous, but with your knowledge, you can always educate them and bring them close to us, and we'll be able to help them. Okay,
Cool.
Perfect.
Let's switch back to the session. Okay. So this is where we started, right? Samir and Raina's case study. Okay. So these are the goals that we talked about, like say, where the roadblock that Samir and Raina, this family is saving is that they're too reliant on their W2 income. And then with all the ups and downs that they see with the stock market where they're heavily invested, it's making them nervous, right? Being a W2 income employee, they're paying a lot of money in taxes, so they do not have any tax saving or tax sheltering strategy. They know that their home has nicely appreciated. They have over 500K in home equity. They're wondering, like, say, okay, is it possible for us to put this equity to work? And then whatever investment they have made so far, those investments are not met with their bigger goals that they have in their life. Like things like, say, they have two kids and they want to plan for their college education, right? They want them to go to Ivy League schools and whatnot. Okay, and they're also thinking about okay, creating a job optional lifestyle. Okay, so as part of this, what we started doing is like say we started using all these tools. So far we expose you to Smart Portfolio System, which is the industry's very first goal-based real estate portfolio builder, where you're mapping your life goals to your real estate goals. So SPS provides you insights at the portfolio level across the property that are part of your portfolio.
Yeah.
If you need insights at the property level, then we have this product, we call it as Smart Insight, which enables you to manage your home as an asset by providing you hyper-personalized insights for you to save more and build wealth faster. Okay. Now today we'll also expose you to Smart Search. We briefly looked at Smart Comps. Okay. We'll also, as part of the search and as part of Smart Hold, we'll also see that you have access to Smart Verify model.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously Smart Hold analysis. So let's get back to this. Okay. So I'm coming back to the example that we had over here and going back to Smart Hold analysis. So this property that we have found, right, so this is a hidden gem where
instead of the market rate of 7+%, we have a special rate negotiated with the builder.
So for our investor clients, like say we are getting 4.25, which is unheard of, right? This is where you see people missing the tree for the forest. Like this is the tree. You do not have to worry about okay what's going on in the market, right? That's the forest that impacts. But what that also does for you is like say it creates opportunities that others are
Missing.
not realizing that those opportunities exist.
Yeah.
So this is one such example where, like say, this all the builders, like a lot of these builders, they are big, huge, they are publicly traded company. So for them, for the stock brothers to stay up on a quarter and quarter basis, they need to keep producing home, they need to keep selling home.
So they need
they
to
are-
show the inventory is moving.
Correct. So they are providing a lot of this incentive. So we find such opportunities. So here in this case, like say, this property is cash flowing, right? From the rent, you're not just covering all the expenses, but even after you pay your mortgage, you're still getting like say over $200 in
Cash flow.
in cash.
And this is from day one.
Okay. Now let's look at the long-term data modeling, right? We are looking at the long-term pro forma. If these are the assumptions that I'm making, these are the factors that impact the wealth building with this property. If they all will to hold good, what does it mean for me? So we looked at the YOY projection chart where we say, okay, this property that we found in 5 years, this is building a total wealth of 331K. Total wealth is the total of your cash flow plus equity, right? And then appreciation, we are not making some crazy assumption. What you're seeing over here is the power of compounding. Okay. Remember, we talked about, like, say, Einstein called compounding as the eighth wonder of the world. And that's what you're seeing. There are two things that are compounding over here, your rent as well as the home value. Okay. So that's what you see over here. Now, if you understand the power of compounding, right, then and you're investing into those assets which are providing those compounded returns, you will see that over a period of time, it provides you such awesome return. Okay, so this property that we looked at, you are investing say about 130K. Your 130K of investment is providing you in 5 years alone, right? Say based upon the assumption that we're making, all over 331K in your returns, like almost 2.5 times or more return. Okay, then we looked at, like say, the detailed pro forma. We say, okay, these numbers look good, but how do I make sense of, like, how do I believe this number?
Yeah.
So you all the gory details you have under your detailed pro forma. Okay. Now as part of this, we looked at, okay, ideal, which we say, okay, this is the ideal projection for this property. Income, depreciation, equity, appreciation, leverage. That's what ideal is. That's the term that we coined to quickly understand, like say, whether this property is really an ideal property and a good fit for somebody's portfolio, depending upon what their goals are. Okay. Now let's talk about. We talked about the 1%er playbook. Okay. Now for buying this property, how much are we investing? Say we're investing say about 130K. Okay. That includes your starter cost, buying cost, and everything else. Okay. Now, how can I use this investment to help me buy more property? Okay. So in a way, what you're doing is you're creating your own bank.
Yeah.
Okay. So that you can use this bank to buy more assets. Okay. So if you were to see here, let's say, say year 5. How much are we investing? 130K. So how long does it take for me to tap that equity out of this property if I want to do that? Okay. So for that, you see over here in year 5, when you're looking at your potential HELOC
or cash out
refinance, depending upon whatever the interest rates are at that point of time. So if the interest rates are low, probably I'll do a cash out refinance. The reason you want to do it because HELOC has a higher interest versus cash out refinance. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, correct. So based upon the assumption that we are making, whatever capital that we're deploying between year 4 and year 5 itself, you are able to
take it out.
Take out that capital if you like and use that money to buy another asset. Okay.
Between year 4 and 5.
So you probably may have some people in your network, you say, oh, they have like 10 homes, 15 homes, and you're wondering like, where are these guys getting so much of money? What they're doing is they're using the systems and the processes in this country to their advantage, where they're smartly using leverage. Leverage is your force multiplier. So here what you're doing, the first place we're using leverage is like say for buying this asset. Even though this is like say 500K asset, we are just putting in only about 25%. Rest all is leverage.
100K.
Your return is on the 100% of the asset. If this 130K, say if you were to invest into say stock, your return would be on the 130K of the investment what you're making, unless you get into very risky stuff like options trading and all that. Otherwise, if you're buying say 130K, you're putting into some stock, depending upon that stock or that ETF performance wherever you're investing, your return is going to be restricted to the amount that you're investing. Here, your return is on the 100% of the asset. And as this asset is appreciating, building cash flow for you over the year, depending upon what the goal is, now I'm able to take out money, whatever money that I'm investing, and use this to buy more assets. So if you just start with one, what is happening? Year 1, say I'm starting, say around year 4 or so, I'm tapping the equity and then maybe say the savings that I have, right, that I am accumulating, and then I could buy another asset. So in theory, based upon the example that you're looking, every 4 to 5 years, you're able to add more real estate to your portfolio. So you started with one, say after 4 years, you added another one. Now you have 2 growth engines, so 2 properties which are now appreciating, and it all depends upon the buying the right property. That's where our expertise comes in. So now after year 4, you have 2 growth engines, and then say after another 4 years, maybe now from both the properties you are able to tap, and then you can buy 2 more. This is how you can get into that virtual cycle, where now you are buying appreciating assets, where the cost of your major cost when it comes to owning those assets is going to be mortgage. That mortgage is fixed, and you're picking up the right mortgage product depending upon what you're buying, when you're buying, and the market condition, right? And then with time, your rent is going up, your property is appreciating, and now you're building your banks, you're building this growth engines where over the years, right, when you're looking at your capital stack, you're looking at, okay, besides my own cash that I'm saving from my from whatever I'm doing, right? Plus, maybe say I'm diversifying out of my stock, or I am, suppose if I have money saved into my retirement funds, even from there also I can diversify, and now start putting money into buying those assets which are building wealth while I sleep, or while I focus on activities that I enjoy, right? So by doing this, maybe one day you will build a large enough portfolio that can get you to the highest office in this world. It's possible.
The other thing that our investors love about this dashboard is the fact that it brings in predictability. So example, if Metas have to arrange for college funds in year 8, right, for their child's education, how do they look at the numbers?
So I go to whichever year, like say, so Metas, we said they have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
And the kids, like say, are going to go to college. So suppose say they're going to go to college, say after 8 years. Okay. So after 8 years, when now they're looking at, okay, how are we going to fund their college education? Okay.
What are their options?
So at the end of 8 years, if they were to sell this home, they're getting 262K net profit.
Whereas if they were to just tap into the equity of this property, they can still continue to rent this property and just take out equity or cash out refinance of 232K, right? And this is right there predictable income where they can allocate these funds towards the child's education. A lot of your friendly neighborhood real estate agent will not be able to do this for them.
Or even your financial advisors, they're not going to talk to you about this. Reason is incentives are misaligned, right? Because for them, they want you to keep investing into correlated assets
Yep.
where they'll make a fee irrespective of the results. Here in this case, like say when you're investing into the right properties, right? Those properties now are building wealth for you. Okay. Now, if you were to see when these guys are selling this property, we talked about the example, right? What are the benefits that they can claim with REP and non-REP? Okay, so you have these examples that you can look at where you're seeing, okay, if these are going to be say REP, now I'll encourage you to now start looking at these numbers very closely and then internalize it for the example case studies that you will be getting where you're going to apply these numbers and come up with, okay, if they were to say sell this property say at the end of or before the bonus depreciation under OBA it runs out, right? They're going to save so much of money in taxes. Whereas if they're not getting the REP status, like suppose both the parents, the Mehtas still continue to work in the tech industry. If they are continuing to hold this property, they are still going to, whatever accumulated suspended passive losses that they had, those suspended passive losses, after applying against depreciation, recapture, and capital gain, they'll be able to save it against their W2 income. Okay. So if your parents, like say, they're wondering, oh, like both of us are making good salary with the job that we have, so we do not want to, like say, try for RAP. They can still save a lot of money in taxes by using this strategy where maybe say every 4 or 5 years, depending upon the property what they're buying, they are now recycling properties, getting these paper losses, using these paper losses to save against their W2 taxes, and then free up that capital, use that capital, and then reinvest that capital to buy more, right? So that's what this smart hole analysis, it opens those conversations and opens people's eyes. Like, okay, man, when I'm looking at the ROI, a lot of people get stuck with, okay, oh, I'm just going to whether this property is going to cash flow or not. There are a lot of levers that are available with real estate where if you're able to use those levers, your ROI is going to be exponentially high compared to what people think that what is really possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an onion peel.
Yeah. Then, so this part is done. Now, let's look at, say, their smart insights.
What is Smart Insights? Do you want to?
So Smart Insight, as we mentioned, like I said, this is a product that we built. Helps homeowners, like remember in the very first session that we had, we talked about, like say, US homeowners are losing at least $150 billion in potential wealth since they do not get the right information at the right time to make the right decision.
Yeah.
We solve that problem with Smart Insights. And this Smart Insight, like say, you can get for your own properties, right, for your own home, and we'll share that with you guys, where you can see insights like this for your own properties. So for the Mehtas, they have like say over 500K equity in their home. Okay, and if
And as they build their portfolio, they can see a lot of these properties on the dashboard right here. Across their portfolio, how much equity do they have, how much cash flow do they have, and how can they use that leverage towards building more properties or building their portfolio aggressively.
Cool. So we are saying, okay, this is your primary residence. So for a primary residence that you have, most bank will provide you 80% LTV. That means any equity over 20%, if you wish to tap, you can tap and use that to reinvest if you feel that makes sense. Now let's talk about what we can do with this. So we are providing here hyper-personalized insights about what is that they can do if they were to better manage this home as an asset. The first thing that they get to see, okay, if I were to say invest, right? Maybe I have investable cash from my capital stack, or I want to diversify out of the stock, or maybe I'll tap some of the equity or combination of this, right? And have say 200K, what is that I can do with this? So in real time, like say, they can go here and say, okay, if I'm looking at say properties, say suppose 200K, 200 times 4, 25% down payment, that means I can buy assets 4 times
up to 800K.
Up to 800K. If I do that, like say in real time, they are saying, okay, there are 2,400 properties which are listed in Pierce County in Washington State, out of which 7 are well building. That's what our algorithm is finding it for them, and they can get to see. Okay, and right from here, like say, like suppose if this Smart Insights is for your own home, right from here you have questions like frequently asked questions. So your frequently asked questions are already over here. Like say if you have questions about, okay, can you send me more investment properties, or if it is questions say more from a loan standpoint, right? If you need us to connect, right? Because back in those days we used to also originate. We don't. So now we connect you with some loan officers who can help you do that. But we can help answer some of these questions.
Sure.
So your frequently asked questions are already there. If you have any other question, you can type right from here, and then we can respond to you. Okay. So that's one scenario. Second scenario over here is like say, what is that I can do with this, right? So the algorithm is picking up some properties to show the possibilities. That okay, if you were to use this equity in this property, you can do a property like this. You need about 176K to buy this property. This property is generating over $36,000 in rental income, but this is not the property which is cash flow. Okay, but you get to see those numbers right over here, and right from here they can click onto this and then do the smart hole analysis, structure their acquisition, structure their assumptions around mortgage, rent, and all that, and see whether this makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's one scenario. Okay. Then the other scenario is like say, what if I want to sell this? Okay. So there may be situations where, like say, your parents are thinking about, okay, we have outgrown this home. We would like to now upgrade to a larger home for whatever reason, right? If I were to sell this, what happens? Right from here, they get to see, okay, if you were to sell this, this is what your net proceeds is going to. Okay. And again, if they have questions, they can reach out to us. That's okay. So you have all this data at your fingertips. Now, instead of selling this, right, what we're also saying is, if you were to
Rent this.
if I were to like say sell this and then use that money towards down payment for buying another primary home, you can qualify up to say a $2 million, assuming your debt to income credit score. Now this is where you see a lot of families, they end up selling because they feel that's the only option that is feasible, because that's what they are, like people around them, like say the traditional real estate agent and all that, they're advising. Because why are they doing this? Why do a lot of time, like say, if you were to go to your a traditional real estate agent and you're thinking of, okay, I have outgrown this home, or for whatever reason, like say we are moving, right? Now, what do I do with this house? What is the advice do you think a traditional real estate agent in most cases will provide?
You can answer in the chat.
If I were to save this, right, share this with a traditional real estate agent, I bought this property say 5 years ago, of like say I'm moving, or I'm thinking of upgrading to a larger home. What is the advice they'll do? Right?
Sell it because they get the commission, right?
Right. That's Nilesh. You're spot on, right? Afan, good job. Right. Everybody most of them would ask you to sell it, because when you're going to sell it, they're looking at two transactions. I'll get to sell your home, I'll make money on that, I'll get commission on that, and when you're going to buy, I'll make commission even on that.
On that, right?
Right. No, but when you have a tool like this, you can see, okay, now instead of selling this, what if I convert this home into a rental? Okay. And what would it mean for me? So if these guys were to say, sell this into a rental, so this rent is,
their mortgage is much lower than this.
Yeah. They can see right over here, like say, I think we need to adjust the mortgage payment in this case. They can see right over here what it makes, what it means if I were to just convert into a rental, right? For cash flow, like say, it's going to be one number. A lot of times, like say,
equity is the main thing.
You have like people who have refinanced during the pandemic or bought homes during the pandemic, they're sitting on less than 3% interest rate, or around 3% interest rate. So that interest rate is basically free money, because that interest rate is lower than your inflation, or just equal to your around your inflation. That means you're getting that money for free. So why do you want to sell this asset where the asset is still appreciating, right? And your rent is going up, and probably you do not need to sell. You can just take out the equity from this home and upgrade to a larger home if you want.
So you don't need to break your bank. You also don't need to sell your stocks. Your current asset should be able to fund your next investment for whatever goal that you have.
Okay. So that's what we do over here, where we provide all those scenarios where very quickly you can decide. Now, for anybody to put together this information themselves, they have to spend weeks and weeks to get this. And this information is updated almost on a daily basis. Okay. And all these properties and all that you get to see, right? The portfolios that you get to see is all getting updated. Suppose if this property that we're showing under portfolio, if it sells, the algorithm will pick up some other property, it will show. So our clients, they are addicted to this. This is like, say, okay, my wealth dashboard, where I'm getting to see what else I can do by better managing my home as an asset to accelerate my wealth building. Now, when you're talking about wealth building, there are other ways in which you can build, save, like say from a refinance standpoint. Okay, so we also create personalized refinance scenario. Now, if these guys, like say, if they want to refinance, right, they are watching news, right, and then trying to track what the interest rate is, and then trying to calculate, okay, if I were to refinance, what it would mean in my scenario, blah blah, and all that, right? And then maybe reach out to multiple loan officers and then get them quotes and all that. What we have done is we provide you those scenarios right over here. So if you see, you have your refinance scenario over here. Like say suppose if you were to refinance to a 20-year loan, what does it mean for you? Okay, if I were to refinance to a 30-year loan, what does it mean for me? Now, right here itself, what I can do is, okay, suppose say there is some promotion that is happening where I'm getting say 3% rate. I'm just making it up. Like these guys, they have 3.75 today. In today's market, you'll not be getting say 3%. Suppose if their interest rate was say 6%, and there are a lot of families like that are out there who are sitting on a 6% or 6.5% interest rate.
Yeah.
Right. So those families, they're all waiting for that 3%, 4%. You don't have to. Right. Say, I can just over here, I can come here and see if this is the rate I get, what would it mean for me? What you can also do is we have this smart refi alerts. Okay, where we can, instead of somebody needs to, okay, if today's my interest rate is so much, this is what I am paying. If the new interest is so much, what would it mean for me? Okay, those things are not very easy for most people to calculate and figure out. So what we did, we flipped it on its head. People understand what is the savings that I'll get. Okay, if I were to refinance. So what if I say, okay, if I want to refinance to say, if I want to get say $100 savings per month by refinancing, what should the rate be? So the rate needs to be say around 4% for them. Okay, and if they want to add the refinance fees, right over here, they can do that. If they want to do some cash out refinance, they can do that. And then when they click onto this, what is happening? We are creating a smart refi alert in the system. Okay, wherein we start tracking their refinance scenario for them. Now, when the interest rate falls to a level where their savings can be achieved, they get notified. They get an email, okay, that okay, now interest rates have fallen to a level where your target refinance scenario can be accomplished. So remember when we talked about like say one of the ways where US homeowners are losing a lot of money in potential wealth every year, right? $150 billion or more every year. One of the ways for them is like say people do not know when to refinance. When they create a refi alert in our using Smart Insight, they get notified. Okay, and they do not have to do anything about it. That's the power of our platform. Then there are other ways in which they could be saving. Like suppose these guys, they want to be say mortgage free sooner.
Yeah.
So if I'm putting $200 every month extra towards my principal, what does it mean? Okay, or say if I put in say $300 more extra, right, towards my principal, you may think that this number is so small, like say $350 extra that you're paying. If you're doing that, you are saving $91,000, 91K in interest, and then you're 3.5 years sooner you're mortgage free. So for some people, this may be a goal where I want to be mortgage free. I would say based upon our experience, for most people, if you're sitting on say 3%, 4%, 5%, or even 6% interest rate, that is the cheapest source of capital. Okay, so don't worry about this part that I want to be mortgage free. It may make sense, say, when you are looking at, okay, I'm looking to now retire. Now I need more consolidating your portfolio where some of the expensive loans I want to pay off, and then the less expensive loans, mortgages that I have, right? I want to keep, right? Then in that case, maybe say those things you have to decide on a case-to-case basis. But for most people, especially say you will see people coming from Indian subcontinent. They somehow, like say we all have been trained that okay, debt is bad, really good, right? We avoid debt, but the hard way what we have learned is that there's good debt and bad debt.
Yeah.
The housing debt that you get in this country is a really good debt to have, because first of all, it is so cheap, right? Even at
7%.
6%, 7% are the cheapest capital that you can get. And if you're using that to buy the right assets, which are going to be appreciating, providing you cash flow, blah, blah, and all that, depending upon what your goals are, you are now using that debt to buy appreciating assets. Okay. So what's the hurry to sell? Instead, take out the capital, reinvest, and buy more. But if somebody's goal is like, say, I have that peace of mind where I want to be mortgage free sooner. Now, instead of they having to go to a loan officer requesting them to create these kind of scenarios, right from here itself, I say, okay, if I put in say $400 more, I'll save 100K in interest. I'm mortgage free almost 4 years sooner. Okay, that's one. Then what are the other productive ways in which you can go about leveraging the home equity? Right, your parents can use this for funding your college education. Okay, your student loans are like this is an old number as of 2019. These numbers have gone up, right? Where the APR on those loans are now in double digit probably.
Yep.
Right. Instead, use the equity that is sitting in your home to fund your college education. That's one. Or if you want to improve the your home, maybe say you're adding more square footage, adding an extra room. Right? No, instead of you way to sell, maybe just add an extra room, right? That may be a better option versus trying to sell and trying to buy, right? If that's possible, may just use the home equity to help you do that. Or if you have debt, let's say credit card debt or some other debt, you again realize that the housing debt that you're getting, right, that is much cheaper compared to all this. So you can use the equity to pay off your other debt. So there are ways in which your home is becoming
A bank for you.
a bank and a wealth engine for your family. And that's what Smart Insight does. And then as and when they have any questions, right from here, they can reach out to us. And what we have done over here is, again, as part of our Mission Million, we have added options for, like, suppose if you are receiving this for your own home or your investment property, you can empower people in your network by sharing, by letting them create a Smart Insight for their own homes or for own properties, right? That's the power that we have built within the platform to help more families get to their life goals faster. So that's what Smart Insights is all about. Now I'll give a real life story about this. Okay. This again is related to layoff. So one of the family, like say, only the husband was working in big tech company, right? Wife was the super boss. She was taking care of everything at home.
Yeah.
Okay. So he got impacted. Okay. And when that happened, right, he has been working for almost 20 years in the tech industry. It took a big toll on him, on his like how he views himself, because when you are working in all this job, you pay, your identity somehow gets tied to your, right? Your badge becomes your identity. Okay. So
with the second, guys.
Mate, if you're there on the call, can you take it off? Okay, thank you. So what they did is they said, okay, market conditions are not good. So in order to they were not very sure that okay, they'll be able to find a job and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, what they did, they decided that okay, they'll send their kid to with their grandparents out of this country, right, for a year or two, while
They deal with the situation.
while
That's
they
what
deal
the
with
language
this
they used.
while they deal with this situation, try to find a job and all that. Okay.
Very heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking, right? So you do not want to split the family this way, but they did not know any better. Okay, so somehow they got introduced to us. Okay, and then we sat down with them, and then we started looking at their portfolio. So they just had only one property, but that property, what they had, has appreciated by over $1 million.
Yep.
They did not know that they have $1 million sitting in their home. They're just looking at their bank savings, but the bigger bank, which is their home, they did not know, right? So they sure, okay, you have $1 million sitting in your home, okay, and then the wife, since they were not working, had you started building this portfolio, you could be getting this REP status, and you could have saved a lot of money in taxes over the years, while you are so busy, right, shipping out products for your employer, right? And unfortunately, the employer, as part of their own plans, they let you go. You were so busy just running on that corporate treadmill that you let go of that opportunity. So he got a job
in a different state.
In a different state, and that was a very cheaper state to go to. So they're thinking, oh, we'll rent a home instead of living from a big home like this. We'll move over to an apartment. We'll rent it. We'll send our kids to with their grandparents and all that. I say, okay, again, you have so much of equity. You have capital that you have saved over the years. You have done well in your life. Use this. Use this as an opportunity where you're rebounding, and you're rebounding much higher, much stronger. You can buy a home with a swimming pool for 500K, 600K in the area that you are going, right? And this home that you have over here, you can rent it out. You have 2.5% interest on that. With that, you are getting cash flow from this property.
Do not sell.
Do not sell. What
they were advised was to sell this property, save all the money, rent into another state when they're moving there, and send the kids to the grandparents. Okay, all the wrong decisions at the wrong time. Right.
So when they looked at this data, right, and they realized, oh man, these are all the possibilities that I have. I have so much of like
equity.
This is not their property, but an example. When they looked at, okay, they had like over $1 million equity, right? And then when we show them that this is if you need capital, you have, right, say, like while you're supposed, say, fortunately they got a job, right? But if you don't, you have this equity in your home that will help you fund your lifestyle.
Yeah.
While you continue to look for your next job or work on your own startup idea. You do not have to look at job as the only way for you to be making a living. Okay, and what they did, they took advantage of the market condition right now, bought a new home, okay, with around
in the new state.
In a new state with around 4% interest, but again, nobody is buying, right? The builders are offering all this incentive, so they bought a property, a dream property that they've never felt that okay, we'll be able to have a property with a swimming pool and all that kind of stuff.
We helped them negotiate that deal.
Right, and then
they are bringing back their kids.
They're bringing back their kids
to enjoy the swimming pool, and we are starting the process of leasing their primary home.
Okay. On top of that, now they saw the benefit of this. Now they are building their portfolio with us, buying more properties because the wife is not working. So now they're working towards getting the REP status. Okay. That's the power. Like once you see all this data, there is a lot of stories that is there behind that data when you know how to interpret this data and then use this data to start solving real life problems.
Yeah.
And that's what all of you would be able to do from the conversation that we have been having as part of this internship. Okay,
Great.
cool.
So assignments today?
Now I have one more thing to show, which will part of their assignment. Okay. So we may go over by say 5-10 minutes today. I hope it is all right. So now I'm going to show you smart search. Okay, this is our proprietary search. So if you look at any of the traditional real estate portal, a lot of information about it, like say you're trying to compare at the property level. Now, if you also look at the search experience, our search experience is totally different. Okay, we are not leading with bed, bath, and square footage and all that. Okay, what we are saying, okay, look at real estate from the prism of wealth. So what we do is like say, what is the goal that you're looking to accomplish? Okay, so your goal could be like say you're looking for a property that you want to hold for long term for equity growth and all that. With the current interest rate and all that, you may feel that the property, like say, this is the time for me to buy great assets at good prices. Okay, like remember Warren, one of the famous quote that you have from Warren Buffett, like say, I'm better off buying all these great companies at good valuation versus buying this average companies at uh, uh, great valuation, but those average companies are not going to do much for it.
Yeah.
The same philosophy, right? You can be applying where you are saying, okay, not many people buying. People are scared with the layoffs and what's going on with the economy, with the inflation, all that. This is the opportunity for you to find those hidden gems. So depending upon the goal, as you go about selecting, suppose you to say by cash flow rentals. If you see here, the metrics that you see, they changes. Cash flow, cash on cash month. If somebody is looking to flip, we don't advise. Then net profit, ROI. Okay. So depending upon the goal, the metrics changes. That's one. Then you pick and choose what kind of properties that you are looking to buy. So suppose I'm looking to buy a single family home. Okay. Now, this is the power of the platform, right? While everybody else is looking at, okay, today the interest rates are so and so. We're saying, okay, find out what is the best interest rate that you could be getting. Like say the example that we looked at, maybe say 7-1 arm, maybe say I'll get it maybe say at say 6%. Okay, I'm buying this as an investment, so 25% down payment for the best investment. And if you see here, there is something that all of you should pay attention to, because this will apply to all of you. When you are looking to buy your very first home, okay, what is the minimum down payment that you need to have? The minimum down payment that you could have is
only 3.5%.
Okay, you could get the FHA loan. Okay, as a first-time homeowner, you can get the FHA loan where you're just putting 3.5%. Okay, imagine this. Suppose if you're buying a property, say worth 500K. So for 500K property, how much you need to put in? 3.5%.
17,000.
Okay. So when you are going to college in some college town, you may you can do a house hacking where you can buy a home, buy an apartment, become a landlord, rent out the other rooms, and then start building wealth while you're in college, right? And then from one property, go to the next property, right? Once you have enough equity in this, tap the equity in this property and then buy more. This is something you can start doing. Start thinking about those things while you're in college itself. It is possible, right? That's what you see over here. Okay. So I can say, okay, I need to put in say 6%, and then I'm going to refinance say after say 2 years to maybe a 30-year fix, maybe say at 5%, or maybe whatever that rate that makes sense. Now what is happening over here is when I'm searching, I'm applying this refinance scenario or refinance model for every single property on the market. Okay, for every single property when I search. So let's say I'm looking at say property is say worth say up to say 800K. Okay, and when I search, it is applying that refinance scenario for every single property on the market. Okay, so let's take this example. I'm just picking up something. So if you see, based upon the refinance scenario that we have, this property is getting me a cash flow of about say $1,800 and a cap rate of 6%. 2 years down the line, after in year 3, when I'm refinancing, my cash flow is increasing to
almost $5,000.
Almost $5,000. Okay, and when you go open this, okay, forget about the property right now. We're just looking at
the numbers.
The numbers. Okay, when you go open this, you can again tweak your refinance scenario over here, where in real time you can create, okay, I'm taking out loan at 6%. This is what my monthly payment is. Say 3 years down the line, I'm expecting maybe say 5% or 4.75, whatever that number is. If I do that, my mortgage payment from 1192 is dropping to 996.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting a monthly saving of say $195 in this case. Okay, now when I'm going to refinance, there'll be cost of refinance fees that I need to pay. So again, I use leverage. Why will I pay this money from my pocket when I can roll this into the new loan? When I do this loan amount that I have is I will add this refinance fee to the loan amount. The loan amount will go up. My monthly payment will go down a little bit. But even if I do that,
just $10.
It's just $10. I'm still breaking even in 10 months. So this savings that I have, this savings is helping me recover this cost of refinance in about 2 months. Okay, and then when you apply this, all your calculations, they get updated. So after refinancing, I'm getting almost $700 in cash flow. Okay, this you can do for every single property on the market. Okay, so when you go for search, there are a lot of things that you will see over here, right? So every other legacy real estate portal will show this bed, berth, square footage, blah blah, and all that, right? Year built. Our secret sauce is like to look at it as an
investor,
right? So look at the investment facts. What is the cap rate I can get? What is the cash on cash return I can get? Okay.
Where are the deals?
Where are the deals? Like say you're evaluating certain market, right? Say certain city. Everything is selling for say $300 per square foot. Can I find properties which are selling say for say $200 per less than say $250 per square foot?
Yep.
You could do that. Okay. You can search based upon the number of pictures that a property has. If the property has fewer pictures, it can mean 2 things. Either there are a lot of problems, or there is an opportunity that the listing agent did not do a good job. You can do that. You can do text mining, where you can look for phrases, and based upon the phrases, you can try to find hidden opportunities. Like say for Washington State, we also have like say this option where direction facing. So if we have the direction facing, like say a lot of us, like say we want a east facing house or a northeast facing house, you can do that, right? Important thing over here is like say you also want to make sure when you're buying investment property that there are no rental caps. You can search based upon that.
There's no rental restriction.
Okay, these are the things that you cannot do on any other platform. Okay, so that's the search part. Okay, now let's talk about so what I'll encourage all of you to do. Let's go back to your assignments. So before I go to the assignment, maybe let me spend a minute over here on the case study. Okay, so you'll be getting your case study in a day or two. Okay, and you'll start working on that, and then you'll be presenting it on the demo day. So this is how you'll be your case study presentations are going to be judged. So these are the criteria: understanding of the problem, use of our platform, right? All the different tools that you looked at on the platform. Then creativity and problem solving, team collaboration. This is a team-based learning. We want you to work as a team. We want you to build those relationships, right? Build those leadership where everybody is the same. You will get to, some of you may be able to step up, bring everybody together, and then work towards the problem. So team collaboration, that's a skill that we want you to learn. So when you go to work, like say this collaboration skill is really, really important. Communication and engagement, when you are presenting, you will get a limited amount of time. Within that time, you need to present, right? And make best use of that given time. So that's what you see: communication, engagement, and time management.
Basic.
So these are the criteria based upon which your case studies are going to be judged. This year, what we're doing is, like say, given the number of teams that we have, okay, we have over 50 teams. So we'll not be able to have everybody present live. Okay. So what we're doing is you'll get the opportunity where the same rubric that you see. So you'll create a video as a team for the problem that is being given to you, right? Like how I'm sharing my Zoom. You could use anything else. You can just record as you are presenting. Like you can put together a presentation if you want, right? There are no hard and fast rules as to how do you want to present your case study. You can just use the platform, use BricksFolios tools to talk through this. So you will create videos. You'll just record the video where if you want to be on the camera and talk about this as a team, you can do that. So when you're creating videos, advantage that you'll have is, like say, you can do your retakes and all that as much as you want, and put together a good video. And that video is what you'll be sharing with us. So we'll be picking up the top teams, right? And that number, we are still deciding how many that number is going to be, but that's going to be minimum. Minimum is going to be minimum 10 teams that we're thinking will have present live at the case on the demo day. Okay, but that number will confirm during this week. So you will get to present, but what, by having the videos, all of you would be getting equal shot at it, whether you are in Washington, whether you are in Puerto Rico, whether you're in New Jersey, everybody will get that shot. So you will get the opportunity to put together that video, share with us. We'll be evaluating using this rubric.
Picture time before we go to the assignment.
Okay. I think let's do that. So I'll stop my share.
We'll do a quick picture before we go to the assignment today.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2 images since we have so many of you. So if everyone can turn their camera on right now. And 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Now I'm going to take one more. So
You have
keep
a couple of more so that everybody get to see themselves later on with the group. This will be a memory for them. Okay.
Awesome. So 3.
Smile one more time, and then whatever you want to do, thumbs up, like, whatever you feel like.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Awesome. Let's go to the assignment.
So as usual, every session that we go to, what did you learn in that session, right? So, so that's something you are doing. All of you have been doing amazing well. So continue to do that. You're building your brand. You're like a founder who's building his company in public.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you are doing, and by doing this, you're also empowering your network, okay, and building your own brand. So this is standard. On top of that, now you have this week you are moving from learning to leading, where whatever you're learning, those learnings you're putting to work. Okay. So your insight, your voice, and your content can now shape families discover the power of real estate to transform their futures. Okay. So these assignments that we are putting together now, they are very thoughtful assignment. These are not just meant for you to say learn your leadership point. These are your real opportunities for you to inspire, influence, and ignite action in your network. Okay. So the first assignment that you have is we just looked at smart search. Okay. So using smart search and hold analysis, like say, you need to play around and look at uh, different variables that you're looking at: price, rent, rate, expenses, right? Reinvesting cash flow, all those things, right? Just play around with all of those and get familiar with this. Because in the case study, this is what you will be doing, where the case study would be say, okay, find a property which meets blah, blah criteria, and then put together the smart hole analysis for this property with these assumptions. And based upon those assumptions, tell us whether XYZ family can meet their given goal, right? That could be the kind of case studies that you have. So we want you to get familiar with search and hold. Okay, so after doing this, like you look at some property, you can just look at the example that we have, or pick some property that you feel, and then talk about, like say, how does real estate help save taxes and build wealth? And you are going to compare REP as well as non-REP, where the property were to be sold, say, uh, on or before July 31st. Okay. So you can go to smart hole analysis, say you're buying the property now. So after 5 years, if you were selling this, say this property, so after 4 years, if you're selling this property, what does it mean? So the blog that we looked at, the blog already provides you that framework. You can refer to it and then talk through it.
Due date is 7/22.
So this is due 7/22. Okay.
Tomorrow. Yes.
Then this is your team-based project. So as a team, you have the opportunity to be featured on our blog and on our social media. And if you do an awesome job, you also be getting beside like every team who is doing this, they're getting 25 points. Okay, this is the team-based points. So you're getting 25 points, and the top 10 athletes will get you featured on our blog and on our social media. Okay, so you have the liberty to choose any topic for a first-time real estate investor. Right, you guys decide what that topic could be. Create a blog up to 1,500 plus words. Don't worry about SEO optimization if you do not know what it is. Just don't worry about the SEO part. If you can do this, well and good. And then put together a blog, any topic that you feel, up to you. You can take a look at our blog. You can get a lot of those inspiration from there. All of you guys are smart. You learn a lot of things. Like we have been reading the posts that you have been making on social media. And we are inspired by that. I think you can do amazingly well as a team. The goal is to educate, inspire, and attract, where new investors, if they're thinking about real estate, taking their very first step, how can they go about doing that? Okay, so your blog before like 7/23, so today is 7/21, so end of day 7/23, so you're getting 2 days for doing this. Okay, so email this to growthcatalyst@brickfolios.com. The subject format needs to be whatever is your team name, what is the blog topic, attach it as a document. Who are the people who contributed to that blog? Obviously, we want all the team members to be part of this, and include your picture so that we can give you the shout out on our blog as well as on our social media.
Only one person per team needs to submit this. And
Yes.
team names, one more time with that. If your team name is just a number, you have until the end of the day today to change that. You don't want a bunch of team names. You guys have learned so much so far that I know you can come up with really creative names.
Okay. There's one more assignment that I'll be sharing. That is an individual assignment. Okay. And that will share in our community.
Perfect.
Okay. Let me share for a minute.
And all the team assignment info is in the chat one more time if you want to see who's on your team and how to contact them with WhatsApp.
That's it, guys. That's what we have for
Today.
Okay.
See you on Wednesday.
So me and Joe, Eva and Mugdha, all of us are still here. Okay. So if you have questions related to what you've learned, then you can stay back, talk to me and Joe. If you have questions related to your teams, some logistics, not able to attend, some attendance issue and all that, then you'll be talking to Eva and Mugdha. Okay. And we are still here for another 5 minutes. You can stay back, ask us any questions. Hi, Anna. So the questions that you're asking is which is relevant to everybody. It's not your stuff that, okay, I'm traveling, I do not have internet, blah, blah, all. Those are the questions that you'll take up one-on-one with Eva. Huh?
So I'm opening a breakout room, and right now all of you guys are able to unmute yourselves, but don't do that just yet. I'm opening a breakout room, so if you have questions about content, stay here. But if you have questions about logistical stuff like traveling, attendance, or team assignments, come join me and Mugdha in the logistical question breakout room.
Okay. So, Hannah, I'm going to unmute you. Let's start with you.
You said there's a specific amount of time for presentations. How much time are we going to be given?
Max 5 minutes.
Thank you.
We are still working on that. We're deciding on how many teams will be able to present on the demo day. And obviously considering the quality of the case studies that you're putting together.
Yeah.
Right. So all those factors will go into. That's the reason we are not saying, okay, only top 10 would present. That number could be higher. And based upon the quality of the content, maybe say instead of 5 minutes, maybe say we will do 4 minutes. So that decision will be able to make sometime later this week. Moksha, your turn.
So I kind of have a few questions, but when you choose like a mortgage plan, does the bank allow you to end your mortgage early? Like if you pay $400 extra each month?
You can. It's up to you. Again, a lot of banks, they don't tell you this, but you can, on top of your regular payment that you have to pay, on top of that, you can pay any extra amount that you feel like.
Yeah.
And you do not have to pay every month. It could be like, say, you got a bonus, right? And then you can just use that bonus to.
There are no prepayment charges.
So there are no prepayment penalties for conventional loans.
And when you like tap equity, is it like, how does it like work when your house value goes up and then that number is your equity? You could just take that money?
So your equity, the way you're calculating is like, say, equity is whatever is your market value minus the mortgage balance at that point of time. That is your.
Okay, so you can tap your equity multiple times or just once?
No, you would need to, like say, at a given point of time, you have your the main loan, that is your first loan. Then you can have your equity when you're tapping let's suppose if you're tapping that as a home equity line of credit, as a HELOC. So you have that HELOC. Okay. So you cannot have multiple second loans.
Okay.
But you can reevaluate that situation
So when you're-
anytime during the.
Suppose, say, first time you did, you took out, say, 100K.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Even though you have access to, like, say, 800K of equity in your home, but you need only 100K. Say, a year later, you feel like, oh, I got another good deal, and then I need maybe, say, another 200K that I can use to buy this multifamily. So then, when you're taking out, then what the bank would do most of the time is they're going to pay off this equity, and then they'll give you another one. So consolidate.
Yeah.
Okay, and last one. In Washington, how much money do they charge per square foot, or does it change depending on?
Who do you think is charging?
Like, per square foot, like how much do they charge in Washington, or does it change?
Oh, the list price. How much is the
You're
property
talking about
price?
list price, or you're talking about property taxes? What do you mean by charge?
Like, you said there's like money per square foot.
No. What we're talking about, like, say, list price per square foot, right? So when you're looking at the home, like, say,
When you're looking for a deal.
like, say, when you're looking at, suppose, say, the list price of the property is, say 800K, and the size of the home is, say, 4,000 square feet. So 800K divided by 4,000.
Oh, and then okay.
Per square foot.
So what he was talking about is if usually the properties are priced at $300 per square feet, but you're looking for a deal, right? So quickly you can look at if there's any property which is listed for $250 per square feet, that could be a deal, and you can dig deeper into the numbers for that property.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Moksha.
Okay, we have
Arya.
Hi, so I actually have two questions. My first one is, how do you actually like calculate like your depreciation of your house, or like how much your house is worth?
Depreciation or appreciation?
Appreciation, like increase in value.
Sure.
So when you're looking at calculating your home value, so for residential real estate, like, say, for single families up to 4 units, right? It is determined by the comparable properties in the proximity of your home. So you're looking at similar properties to near my home within, say, 1 mile radius, half mile radius, depending upon how many of those properties are or comparables are available. They look at all that and then say, okay, based upon, like, say, now the prices have appreciated. Like your home, say you bought, say, for 500K, but say 2 weeks back, similar home sold for, say, 900K, right? And then another home that it sold for, say 950K. So then they're going to calculate what is the average price per square foot, and then apply to square footage for your property. Consider, like, say, if you have any, like, if you're not doing appraisal and all that, if you're just doing at a algorithm level, this is what they do, where they're calculating the average square foot, and they say, okay, this is what your home value is.
Or the smartest thing would be to go on our platform, and where you have smart hold analysis, the last tab is smart comps. So you can look at how much other homes are priced at in the same market.
Okay.
So
Or if you want to get this on a regular basis, you can subscribe to Smart Insights for your property, and then we send that to you.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a follow-up question on my last question, but like, does it actually matter like the type of house? Like, let's say you have a townhome, but it has the same square footage as like a single family house. Does that still factor into the price, or is it just purely based on the square footage?
It factors. The type of property definitely makes a difference. Single family homes appreciate more than townhomes. Townhomes appreciate more than condos, and that's how it works.
Generally speaking, that's what you see. Right?
But also location matters, right? In the first session, we talked about the most important factor that determines the appreciation of any property is location, location, location.
And my last question is, how do you know like when you should actually sell a property rather than renting it out?
That again, use Smart Insight. You have all the data that we just went through. So that this is again, like, say, very situation dependent, right? Very dependent to your own situation about what are the goals that you're looking to accomplish. So there is no hard and fast rules. it all builds down to your own personal situation. So the Smart Insight product that we shared today. That we deep dive into today will help you with that, and then you have to factor that your own personal situation to decide. And if you need help, we're always there to guide.
Definitely.
Right. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you, Arya.
Hi, Nian.
Hello. So I had a question about the smart hold analysis tool. So I was taking a look at it yesterday, and when I got to the part of like the monthly expenses, like after you fill out the mortgage type and all of like the financial stuff, I had a question on the monthly expenses. So basically, are all those costs typically hidden on other legacy portals, or is it?
Yes.
They're hidden. So see, the legacy portals out there, right, the persona that they're catering to is basically the regular home buyers, people who are going to buy a home and then reside in those homes.
Okay.
Right? Those are the people who are buying with emotions. Whereas our platform, the way we built our platform is like is that look at everything, right? Factor in everything, depending upon whether you're buying this as an investment or if you're buying this even as a primary home, right? So you're looking at smart hole analysis. There's one more tab next to it, smart hole versus rent. So if you're buying this, say, as a rental, you're probably today you are renting, and then you're deciding whether it makes sense for me to continue to rent. So with the same rent, if I'm buying a property that I'm using that rent to pay the mortgage, what does that mean for me? So you have that smart rent versus hold analysis that you can do. Or smart rent versus smart buy.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, you too.
That's it we have, guys, for today. If the breakout room is still happening, let's see the breakout room, if there are people in there. Yeah, the breakout room is still happening. We'll join the breakout room. And as far as this session goes, thank you so much. We'll see you next on Wednesday.